Okay, so we're using sine law and cosine law with word problems. So what I'm going to do is the hardest part of these questions, just like we did with 90-degree trig, the hardest part of the question is the drawing of the diagram. So that's the hardest part, right? Because then once we have that, it's kind of figuring out where we go from there. Then hopefully by time, once I finish teaching, I'm going to grab a flow chart, or I'll make up a flow chart to help you do your reasoning of what to use. Okay? So I want everyone to get out a piece of paper, okay? Because for each one of these, I want to see what you draw, okay? For what the diagram looks like. Okay. So Tom, Dick, and Harry are camping in their tents. If the distance between Tom and Dick is 153, distance between Tom and Harry is 201, and the distance between Dick and Harry are 175. Okay? Don't worry about this last part here. Okay? I want you to draw that diagram for me. Okay? That's the first thing I want you to do. Okay? So draw that diagram. I'm going to put a Padlet up so that way you can share it with me real quick. Once you have your diagram, I want you to either use the QR code there or use this in chat to show me your diagram. We're going to find the diagram after. Find the angle after. I just want you to show me what you've drawn first using the Padlet. Okay? I'm still waiting for people to add to the Padlet. Remember, you don't have to put your name on it, just throw a picture in it of your item, of your diagram. Okay, there's one. Good. Good, and there's no real right way to draw your triangle. Now, for the person who drew the 3/10, I really like the diagram of the 3/10, but make sure you draw it in a triangular fashion, right? Because it looks like they're all lined up in a line, where they're not like all lined up in a line. Okay? I'll give it a couple more seconds and then I'll... Um, 133, 201. Good. Okay. I'm going to erase that right now. So if I were to draw this diagram, right? Good. I kind of go as I go. Okay, Tom and Dick are my first people. So T and D. And distance between those is 153. Now I have Tom and Harry, so I'm just going to put Harry over here somewhere. That is 175. And this one is 201. Good. Whoever, double check you have your sides right, because I'm looking at the last one that was posted. I have a sneaking suspicion of who it is because it's super small, but it's messy, so it's not that person. I have 201 between D and H. Oh, am I wrong? Oh, I'm wrong. Oh boy. I wrote that differently. Okay, let's do that again. Tom and Henry are 201. And Dick and Harry are 175. My fault. Okay. So, now it's asking for all the angles. So here's the first question. Cosine law or sine law? Remember, first thing you want to look for, sine law has buddies. Do we have buddies here? Remember, triangle, a buddy, I always say, is where you have a side and an angle. That's a buddy. Do we have a buddy here, yes or no? Let me see it in chat there. No, so no buddy. Okay. Now what are we finding? Angle? Now we're finding an angle. So that means we're going to use one of these. Okay, this is for finding an angle. Right, this side's for an angle. This side here is for a side. Okay? So now I could go through here and just rename it all, right? If I want to, I could do this. If this makes me feel better, I could make my triangle over again, do 175, 153, 201, and just label these A, B, C. So this is side C, this is side B, and this is side A. And then I could find my angle that way. Because having different letters might confuse you. Just redraw the triangle exactly how you want. Okay? And then we can always go back and write the numbers in this side. So I'm going to find A here first. So I'm going to use this formula here. So I have cos A equals B squared plus C squared minus A squared divided by 2BC. Is everyone following along so far? Yes, no? In the chat? Yes? Okay. So what I want you to do, if you are good to go, I want you to finish off this question for me and then post it in the Padlet again. Okay? You might just want to keep your Padlet open, whatever device you're using it on. Okay? And I want to see your answers there. If not, I'm going to do it on my screen right now, so you can follow along with me as we go. Okay? I will re-share that right now, that link. Okay? So, we're looking for this angle here right now. This is what we're calculating, angle A. Okay? So, cos A still stays over here. Now let's plug in our numbers. B, in this case is across from here, is 175. The side is always across from your angle. So this is angle B, since I put a big B on this vertices, so my side's going to be the opposite. Plus 153, these are both squared, minus 201 squared, divided by 2 times B, which is 175, times 153, equals, now calculate the top number and the bottom number separate. That is 175 squared plus, so 13,633. For the top, and 2 times 175, 53 Does anyone have any questions so far as I've went?
I'm just gonna say that this has actually helped me to understand what I'm looking for, like before. I don't know why.
What? Like yesterday's work?
Well, like just in general, like how to plug in numbers for like.
Oh, okay.
Three different things in the
Yeah, it has more context because it's actually a triangle that you can visualize. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. 13633. So now this equals cos A equals 0.255. Now we can't do this at the very end, right? We need A all by itself, so we're going to bring this cos over, and it becomes cos -1, 0.255. It should give you an angle around 75 degrees. Did everyone else get 75? Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down? Thumbs up from Tanner? Yes from Cam? Yes from Mark? Okay. Now, hypothetically now, Mr. Alfred Trig, what place should we round to? I'll tell you what to round to. Whether it's 1 or 2, 1 or 2 would be fine. But I'll say what it is. So now, to find the rest of the angles, we could do this again for an angle B, or we could use sine law. But I'm going to leave that as is right now. Okay? So here's my next question. I want you to try to draw this one. This one's tougher. Okay? So same thing, draw it and then try to post it in the, I want to see your diagram in the Padlet. Okay, airplane A is flying directly towards the airport, which is 20 miles away. The pilot notices an airplane 45 degrees to her right. Airplane B, that's the one she sees. Airplane B is flying directly towards the airport. The pilot of the airport B calculates airplane A 50 degrees to his left. Based on the information, how far is airplane B from the airport? So let's try to draw that diagram. Okay, I want to see it posted in what chat looks like. I mean, not posted in chat, posted at the, post it in, oops, the Padlet. So is anyone trying to draw this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Those are wonderful diagrams so far. Airplane A, 45 degrees, 50, good. Good. The third one that came in on the post-it note, it looks like. Just include what you're looking for. Same with the one that's on the graph paper. The graphs, the diagrams are perfect, but just identify what you're looking for. Good. Same with the one that just came in. They're all really good, actually. This is the toughest part of, in some ways it's the toughest part of trig, because if you don't get this right, you have no chance to get the answer right. Good, good. There's one person that might have it backwards. The one where it has the 50 degrees and the 20 right beside it, the 20 should be beside the 45 degree one. Because that's the original pilot that we know how far it is away. These are really good. Okay. I'm going to adjust my screen here real quick. Did one disappear on me? Oops. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. I'm going to draw my diagram here. Let me bring that in. Alright, let's make a real nice diagram. As I try to do that, it messes everything up, so. Oh, come on. Let's move the diagram. Alright, here we go. So if we take a look here, we have, I'm going to draw my little triangle to start. I have airplane A here. I have airplane B here. So this person looks this way. I'm going to draw the airport out here. I'm going to draw, let's go airport. So this person here, airport A, he looks out 45 degrees this way. He's also 20 miles away. This person here sees out 50. And we're looking for this side here. Okay? Let's call this D for distance. Okay? And this is pretty much what all our diagrams look like. And if you didn't draw a diagram and you want to check out other people's, click on the Padlet and watch what comes in. Okay, so first things first. Do we have buddies here? Yes or no? Because if we have buddies, we'll use sine law. If we don't have buddies, we use cosine law. So Chris says yes. Do I have anyone else backing up Chris that we have buddies? No one's backing Chris up, eh? Yep. Good. Ben says 20 and good. So this is our first set of buddies here. In the purple. And then our second set of buddies is here. So when I do my questions, I'm going to grab my formula here and bring it over so everyone can see. When I do my questions, I always put my unknown on top. Okay? So my unknown in this case is the D. So I'm going to put D on top for distance. And what's its buddy? Can you tell me what D's buddy is? Even though I have it written there, it's 45. So then below I write sine 45 equals, and then I put the other set of buddies. In this case, since I put a side on top first, I put a side on top this time. 20 over sine 50. And then I like to rearrange first. I like to rearrange, so I'm going to write sine 45 times 20 divided by sine 50. Okay? So I want you to plug that into your calculator and tell me what you get there in chat. Okay? I just want to make sure everyone's calculator skills are up to snuff. So tell me your answer you get for that question. So I got 18.5 from Chris. Good. Good. So 18.5 is the answer. Okay. And Tanner wins the prize for proper communication because he said miles. Alright, so Colin got 26.9. What kind of calculator are you using, Colin? Oh, you're joking? Okay. Make sure your calculator is on degrees when you do this. Okay? Okay. I want you to try to draw out this one. So 3 boats are at sea. Jenny 1, Jenny 2, and Jenny 3. I have no clue if Jenny with boats has anything to do with anything. The crew of J1 can see both J2 and J3. The angle between the lines of sight and the line of sight to J3 is angle between J2 and J3 is 45 degrees. If the distance between J1 and J2 is 2 miles, and the distance between J1 and J3 is 4 miles, what's the distance between J2 and J3? So go and do that diagram here right now and post it in the Padlet so I can see. So I madly erase all the previous ones. Whoever did that on the post-it note, that's an extremely neat diagram. And I like whoever has their little whiteboard out too. Okay. Let me pull this in real quick. Oops. Some people say I have the neatest working class. Who are those people? Was that honestly yours? Oh. G1. Okay.
Oh, bonjour, whoever's on this call.
Whoever put the one in with the shadow, double check. So I think you put 4 on the wrong side. Oh no, you put the angle in the wrong place. The measurements are right. The angle is beside J1. Because if you think about it, if you were sitting on the front of a boat, and if you pointed your right hand at one boat and the left hand at the other boat, that's the angle they're talking about. So if you're standing on the front of your boat, think about Titanic, but don't have your boat sink. Point at one boat this way and point at one boat that other way. Oh, that was my son who came in and said, "Hi, Ben." Right now I'm at house. My daughter is supposed to be doing class, but I hear her playing. My wife is in a meeting, not a meeting, it's a conference. She works for Department Federation of, what is it? DFO. She works for Department of Federation of the Oceans, DFO. Yes. For the federal government. So she's like on a call across Canada right now too. And my son's doing homework, I think. Okay, good. These look good. Oh, shoot! I should have asked you what are you going to use here, cosine or sine law? If you could write that on your diagram too, if you understand which one yet. Okay. Ooh, I like whoever put the letters in. That's really good. I like how you replace it with A, B, C, so it makes more sense to you. Right? It doesn't matter what you label them. All that matters is the answer. So I'm going to pull out my screen here. The poor people that have to watch this video again. Half of it is me waiting for answers. Okay. So, let me draw this up for you as you submit yours. So I have boat 1. I have boat 1 here, and it's looking at 2 spots. Looking at boat 2, boat 3. Okay? And it says its viewing angle here is 45 degrees. Right? Distance between 1 and 2 is 2 miles, and distance between 1 and 3 is 4 miles. It's wondering how far this distance is. Okay? So we're trying to find that. So, how did everyone do with this diagram? Can I get a yes or no? Yes, the diagram went well. No, the diagram went horribly wrong. Good, yes. Okay. Good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to relabel everything. I'm going to leave my, oops, I shouldn't erase that too. I'm going to relabel it like one of my very smart students did.
Yes, sir, I have a question. So, if something is 22 millimeters.
No, 2.2 centimeters. And what's 2.2 centimeters in inches? I think an inch and a half. No. 2.2. 0.86 of an inch. Alright. I see that you're not doing math right now.
No, I'm thinking that's what I got.
Okay. So, do we have buddies here? Yes or no? Do we have 2 sets of buddies? Let me see it in chat. Yes or no? 2 sets of buddies? We have a yes. We have 2 yeses. Now remember, if we're going to have buddies, we need 1 full set of buddies. Right? So if we take this one as a set of buddies, right? And maybe we take this one as a set of buddies. We don't have a full set, do we? Right? We don't have one that's complete. So we don't have buddies. Okay? If there was an angle in here, then we'd have a buddy. Since we don't have buddies, we need to use cosine law. Right? And we're trying to find a side. We're trying to find a side here. So we're going to use these ones here. These deal with sides. These ones here. Okay? So that's what we're going to use. I'll pull it over here so we can take a look at it as we write it down. So I can write it down here as a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. And then we plug in from there. Oh, my son's been waiting for a package. Now he's highly excited it came. So now I plug everything in. A squared equals 2 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 2 times 4 cos, and the angle A is 45. And I'm going to hold off doing the calculation here because I want to see you guys get your answers first. Okay? Now, if you have a nice calculator, you can write this in all together. If not, I suggest doing this part and this part separate and then combining those two numbers here. So once you have that answer, plug it into the chat part for me. $2.9 miles. Does anyone else have that answer? I'll start working away here now. So that's going to equal 20. If I do this calculation, that equals negative 11.3. Combine those two numbers, and I get 8.7. In order to get the answer, I take the square root of each side. So A is going to equal about 2.9. Good. How many people were able to find that answer for that question? Good. Tej? All right. If you want to go ahead and do your homework now, you can go ahead. I have another one that we're going to work with as well. But if you're good to go, you can go ahead and we have, homework. There's what, 5 questions there with for you to do. Oh, this I think there's 6 questions. I somehow there's 6 right there. Sorry, I missed it. Then the homework answers with the diagrams are here. Okay, so if you do get lost, take a peek at the diagram, right, and go from there. Does anyone want to go over this last question about Mark throwing a...
Bro, that's me, bro. That's me.
Yeah, who knew? I found that exact question in a textbook. Is there anyone that would like to go over this question? Yes? Okay. Here, before we go over this question, I want you to do your attendance check-in. Okay? And then I'll go over the question for the people who wish to. And the attendance, I checked it myself, so it should work. And the question is about milk, Cameron. Oh, I'm going to keep recording anyways. Thanks, Trinity. I want to do the next question on the recording as well. Did you get the question, Trinity?
I'm going to be completely honest, I like
What's that?
Pink is really good, but
I once convinced, I grew up on a farm, I used to show cattle. We went to a fair to show our cattle that was close to Ottawa, and I convinced the guy, city folk guy, that my cow gave brown milk, chocolate milk, because she was brown.
you should have just like,
He also thought like the cow had curly hair too, and he asked if I curled all the hair on her to make her look good. And this was like a cow that was up to that was taller than you, Colin. That's how tall this cow was. And he thought I curled this whole cow's hair. Like,
he's from the city, it's not like he's from like a different planet.
you know how long it would take me to curl hair?
Yeah.
So, Cameron, is Cameron even here? He is. Only 4 people said no to milk. 16 people said yes.
Well, good.
And chocolate got 10 votes. Strawberry got 3 votes, and plain old white got 3 votes. You realize that chocolate milk is probably best for your recovery than anything you buy. Okay. Alright, here we go. So, Mark decides to throw a rotten tomato at Tanner and throws his tomato upward at an angle of 50 degrees. So, I'm going to put Mark here. He's throwing it up this way at 50 degrees. His thing travels 10 meters in the air before it's intercepted by Tej's tomato. Tej being a great kid, noticed that Mark was being naughty and he threw his tomato 13 meters to hit Mark's tomato. At what angle did Tej throw his tomato? Okay. Do you understand how we made our diagram here? Yes or no? Is anyone still watching? Tanner is, Mark is. Mark's a little peeved that he didn't hit Tanner with his tomato. Alright. So it's only the people I included in the question that are still watching. Alright. So, sine law or cosine law here? Do we have buddies? Yes or no? Oh, Alicia's still here too. Do we have two sets of buddies, Mark? Yes, right? So if you take a look here, we have a set of completed buddies here, and we have another set of buddies here with one thing missing. Okay? So as always, I put my unknown on top. In this case, my unknown is an angle. I'll pull this down first. So I'm going to put my unknown on top first. Okay, so my angle's on top. So I'm going to write sine x, and its buddy is 10, so I put it underneath. Then I put the other completed buddy beside it. I put the angle first. So sine 50 divided by its buddy is 13. Right? Then we can start rearranging. So I would do this first. I'll wait till someone gives me the answer in chat before I post my answer. Isn't it 50? No, it's not 50. Oh, I made a mistake there. Yes, I see. That should be 50. Thank you, Lawrence. All right. Tej, you got to point out the mistake if I make a mistake. So what did you guys get for this part so far? 0.59, good. Now what is my last step? What do I have to do? No? Oh, is it? Is that the answer? What button did you press, Lawrence, to get that answer? Yeah, sine to the negative 1. So I don't think you, not cos. Remember doing sine law, Lawrence. Not cosine law. So it should be about 36 degrees. Okay. Alright, so you guys now have your homework to work on for this.
Sorry, you want grilled cheese?
No, I'm good. I forget what I have for lunch today.
Okay.
I don't know if I have anything for lunch, actually. We're at the end of our grocery run. It's 11:30. So I want everyone back. One second here. I want everyone back by like 25 after. Okay? That way I have time to split everyone up.
Mr. O, someone sent me this video that I look like. Do I look like this guy? Wait, what? I don't look like him. Yes, you do.
Right. That wasn't you? First, you just gotta get the right filter on your phone that edge your face back a little bit. Yeah.
And then I grow like a little goatee. I think it's kind of funny though.
Alright. Okay.
Wait, come in my
12:25. Because I want to get that. Have you guys split up for the group work, right? So the group work should maybe take half hour, I want to say. Then once you're back from the group work, I can give you your other part. Now you're not allowed to leave class until you're done it, because this group has a tendency to not finish stuff quickly and wait till the end of everything.